everyone. On behalf of Pentagraph Partners, I welcome you all today for PentaTalk session on deep dive into health insurance for happier and healthier life. After the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been an increased awareness and demand of health insurance. People are now prioritizing individual and family health and their well-being. So there was a survey in 2022 that polled around 3,500 insurance consumers across India. Health insurance is not just an optional expense anymore, but an essential means of ensuring financial stability. Owing to the rise in the medical inflation and the burden out of the pocket expenditure, it is imperative that we understand the nuances of health insurance while opting for it. Today, we have with us Mr. Sachin Mahajan, who is the founder of Mpathy Medical Consultancy LLP. With more than 15 years of experience in health insurance sector, a former joint executive director at Star Health and former president and national head at Bajaj Alliance, PIC Limited, he founded this company with a mission to serve a vast number of customers who struggle to settle claims and to understand the essential aspects of health insurance policies due to their complex jargon. Welcome, Mr. Sachin Mahajan, to this month's PentaTalk series. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nimisha. Thank you very much, Pentagraph investors. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir. I have not been able to see in the participant list if Dr. Sonal Dubey has joined us, but she may shortly join us. She is a part of Mpathy Mediclaim Consultancy LLP, and she also has 15 years of experience with Star Health Insurance as claims head and MD India as audit head. She's a part of Sachin sir's team, and we welcome her as well on this talk. So she'll be joining shortly. So today, Mr. Sachin Mahajan will take us through the do's and don'ts of medical insurance. And subsequently, when Dr. Sonia Dubey will join, she'll take your queries on the claims and health-related issues. So before I hand over the floor to Mr. Mahajan, kindly note this session will be on listen-only mode. Meanwhile, if you have questions, kindly write it on your chat box. We will take this while once the presentation is over. So over to you, Mr. Mahajan. Welcome.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Just hold on. I just would like to ask you one thing. We can mix this Hindi, Marathi, English.
So as per your convenience,
No
English.
because
but
everybody should be comfortable. Okay. Okay. Because it's very important that message should reach everybody. It should not happen that we are only talking, but they are not reaching, or there is some communication gap.
No. So please feel free to speak in any language. The concept is to have as many viewers and.
That's what I'm saying. It should be interactive. That's what is important.
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, all. We'll start the session now. The session is exclusively designed for Pentagraph investors, and this session, as Nimisha rightly said, is interactive session, because there's no point in having just a dialogue where you're not interested to talk, or you have question but nobody's there to answer. So it will be interactive, but we'll finish my monologue first, detailed explanation, and then we can have question answer session. Okay, and I have, as Nimisha mentioned, Dr. Sonia Dubey with me will be joining shortly. She will be taking any health-related complications you have or some queries you have about health insurance health issues, some surgery-related, some claim-related, if there are some complicated cases. Otherwise, normally, I can also take some all questions, okay? Okay, so we'll go ahead. Deep dive into health insurance for happier and healthier life. The meaning of this sentence is very important. You already are living a very happy and healthy life. But if you understand health insurance completely, then your life will be happier and healthier, because at the time of claim, if you struggle, okay, you don't understand why there is deduction, why the cashless is denied, and why the claim is rejected, then you will have a lot of, maybe frustration, anger, or, this one, you will get very anxiety that why it has happened. I've taken this policy, my sum insured is 50 lakhs, and why this claim is denied. So if you understand this, then you will be much calmer. You will be able to understand company's point of view, and you can take a right call. So you'll definitely lead a happier and healthier life because you will not have that heartburn and irritation and anxiety after this session. Okay, my name is Sachin Mahajan. I'm the founder of Mpathy Mediclaim Consultancy, which is India's first and only health insurance claim consultancy. Few questions. Why do you buy health insurance? Why do you buy health insurance? The answer is very simple. If there is any problem due to our health, it could be accident, it could be sickness, illness, diseases, surgeries, and you need to get admitted in the hospital, that amount is very hefty, very, very high amount. In COVID times, I have seen one claim of my colleague, which was 70 lakh rupees, COVID claim. So if such incidences happen, it could be 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, whatever amount, that amount I should get back. I should not be worried about how to get that amount. I don't have to borrow funds. That's why we take health insurance. So what we look for in health insurance, we look for a graceful, amicable claim settlement and minimum deduction, cashless, and peace of mind at the end of the day. You should get a happiness that I have taken a right decision by buying a right health insurance policy. Okay, in short. What is covered and excluded in your health insurance policy? So this is very important. We do a lot of other things, non-productive things like WhatsApp, Facebook, status, all those things. But if you deep dive into your own health insurance policy, if you study the policy condition, it is, I think, 2 hours job, 1 or 2 hours job, that you check the condition, what is paid, what is not paid. Then at the time of claim, you will not be in shock. You will not get a shock. So what is covered? Illness, diseases, sickness, surgeries, accidental injuries, everything is covered in Mediclaim. What is excluded? Okay, anything, general exclusion, for example, if something goes wrong due to excess alcohol consumption, liver cirrhosis, it is not payable. Cosmetic surgeries, not payable. Naturopathy treatment, not covered. Okay, dental treatment, it's not covered. Okay, and what is excluded is, again, some diseases are not covered for first 2 years. Any illness, diseases, surgeries not covered in first 30 days of the policy cover. So this is what is very important. And any pre-existing disease, for example, you are having any disease which you have declared in the policy, that disease is not covered for first 3 years or 4 years as per the policy, or maybe 2 years also. A lot of companies are coming with very aggressive. After 1 year also it is covered, but obviously the premium is very high due to that. So if you are young, not having much of a problem, like you have only diabetes, controlled diabetes, hypertension, you should go for a normal policy. No need to take 1 year or 2 year, pre-existing disease cover, because the premiums are very high. Are you aware that cashless does not mean without cash? This is a very bold statement. No? A lot of people think cashless means I don't have to carry money at all. I go in hospital empty pocket, I come out completely scot-free, nothing I pay. It is not that. Cashless means there is a direct settlement arrangement of the insured, insurers with the hospital, where your claim amount is directly paid to the hospital, and what is deductible, what is consumable, not payable, all those items, administrative charges, those item amount you will have to bear. What is that amount? That amount could be 5 to 10% of your claim amount. Okay. And cashless is not your right. Please understand this. Cashless is a privilege. एक सुविधा है. Okay. जैसे हम लोग गाड़ी में बैठते हैं शिवनेरी में, फॉर एग्जांपल, नॉट शिवनेरी, पुरानी जो प्राइवेट गाड़ी रहती थी, नीता वॉल्वो वगैरह, उसमें वीडियो होता था, उसमें मूवी दिखाते थे. वो मूवी दिखाना या देखना तो आपका प्रिविलेज है, इट्स नॉट योर राइट. तो कभी वीडियो बंद रहता था तो आप डिमांड नहीं कर सकते मेरा टिकट का पैसा वापस दो, मूवी दिख नहीं रहा है. दैट्स अ प्रिविलेज. एंड व्हाट इज द राइट? आपने एसी का टिकट बुक किया तो एसी चलना चाहिए. एसी शुड बी इन वर्किंग कंडीशन. योर cushion should be good, your chair should be good, not defective. That is your right. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, so please understand, your claim may get denied, cashless may get denied, because your documents which are furnished to the company or to the hospital or your relatives have given some information about your health which is not reflecting in your policy. So company thinks or company decides that this claim cannot be paid on cashless basis. So they will tell you cashless denied. You'll have to come for reimbursement. Now, will that claim get settled in reimbursement? No, not at all. There's no guarantee. You'll have to furnish all the document, all the history, and then if it is payable, then the claim will be settled. Otherwise, in reimbursement, the claim will be rejected. Do you know why do health insurance claims get rejected? Nimisha, my one request, if I'm going very fast or very slow, or if the point I have not made very, okay, I'll please correct me.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I'll simply keep on talking and you say, sir, people did not understand because you're very, very fast. Okay. And when the subject is known to us now, we tend to be fast because we think that everybody understands. Okay. Do you know why do health insurance claims get rejected? This is very important. A lot of people think insurance company to baitha hai claim reject karne ke liye. It is not the case at all. Insurance companies are there to give you rightful claim. So if you declare everything about your health that is reflecting your policy, okay, for those claims there will be waiting period of 3 years or 4 years, as I have told you, pre-existing. Okay, there will be waiting period of 24 months for some slow growing diseases like hernia, pile, joint replacement, knee replacement, cataract, all those things. So for those things, claims get rejected if you admit before 2 years. And any claim for sickness, illness, diseases comes within 30 days of policy period. You've taken the policy, for example, today, and on 5th of November, you get admitted due to some flu or jaundice or whatever. The claim is not payable because 30 days waiting period is there for all sickness, illness, diseases. Okay. So why claim get rejected? Mostly due to pre-existing disease not disclosed. Second, they got some history from your relative, which is quite confusing. Okay. Or your disease itself is not payable. Okay. Say, for example, in drunken state, somebody has met with an accident, the claim is not payable. Somebody tried to commit suicide, he gets admitted, the claim does not get paid, right? So that's why these claims are not payable. Most, common reason is pre-existing disease not disclosed, or the policy has come where that particular condition falls within 24 months waiting period or 30 days waiting period. Are you aware that insurance provided by corporates does not guarantee continuity? It's very important again. A lot of people are covered by corporate. I'm working with Infosys. I'm working with Tata. I'm working with Bajaj. I'm getting a huge cover. I'm a senior person. I'm getting 10 lakh cover, 20 lakh cover. Okay. But will that cover continue forever? There's no guarantee. If the claim ratio goes very high, maybe corporates are having a big cash problem, cash flow problem. They may stop health insurance for you, for entire team. And they may tell you, take 15,000, 20,000 rupees to buy Mediclaim from market. We will not be providing it. It's a very risky thing. If it happens, you go for medical and they found out that you are having some adverse problem. They may reject your Mediclaim completely. So no company will give you Mediclaim if there is some adverse condition. So please don't rely on corporate insurance at all. You have to have your retail policy with you. I always say retail policy is like a life jacket. When Titanic was sinking, before that, people used to think that life jacket is a big problem here. Titanic is unsinkable, so nothing will happen. Throw all these life jackets. What is the point? But when it was sinking, everybody understood the meaning of that life jacket. It was life itself. So that's what your retail policy is. You will think it's a burden. I'm wasting my money. You waste your money. Years together, waste the money as if you are donated to somebody because you get tax benefit also. But at the time of claim, if the corporate policy is not working or having some limits or very small sum insured, you get benefited due to retail policy. Do you think that health insurance has any other option? I don't think so. A lot of people think that instead of giving 20,000 rupees to health insurance company, I will invest it in mutual fund. After 10 years, it will become 2 lakh or with, appreciation, I get 2.5 lakh or 3 lakh rupees also. So at the time of that claim comes, I'll give 3 lakh. But are you guaranteeing that it will happen after 10 years? It may happen tomorrow due to accident. It may happen today evening due to accident. So where will you get the money from? So health insurance does not have any option. In fact, health insurance, if you take, you pay a premium and 100 times of the premium, you get that claim, 100 times of the premium. So it's very important. you have to have health insurance, and that too adequate. Do you know that claims worth rupees 5,000 crores were rejected last year? The health insurance industry sizes last year collection was 90,000 crores. Out of that, 5,000 crores claims were rejected last year. So it's very important for you to understand that claims get rejected due to non-disclosure. That's why you'll have to ensure that you disclose everything, and nothing is small. Don't consider, there are some hernia problem 3-4 years ago, I don't have to explain. There was some LASIK laser operation 5 years ago, I don't have to explain. No, explain everything. Give all the details. Let company decide. I'll tell you, when you explain everything and company rejects, it is also blessing. You're very clear that I'm not covered by Mediclaim. I have one of my client who has not disclosed anything. He says, my agent told me at the name of claim, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I said, it's all false. That policy is good for nothing. I have my own video also on that. If you don't disclose anything and take a policy, that policy is only for tax purpose. That policy is good for nothing. It's just a piece of paper, only for tax purpose. You will not get any claim. In fact, if there is any claim, the claims will be rejected. The policy will be cancelled, and whatever premium you have paid for so many years is gone down the drain. So the premium is forfeited by the company. That's a law. It's not that I'm talking in the air. It's a fact. Okay. So please mention all your pre-existing disease conditions. Every agent tells you not to disclose. Don't get carried away by that statement. Nobody helps you. Nobody can help you at that time, because non-disclosure of material facts is like a crime in any insurance. You have to be giving all the information related to your health. Otherwise, the claim get rejected. Do you have adequate health and personal accident insurance cover? Now, what is the meaning of accident? Adequate. The meaning of adequate is very, very simple. In Pune like city, you have to have Mediclaim of at least 10 lakh rupees, at least. And there are top-ups available. 90 lakh top-up you take, 10 lakh basic you take. The premium, if your age is around 30, 35, the premium could be around 25,000, 30,000 for 1 crore cover. So that is what I call adequate. You cannot take 3 lakh, 5 lakh and say it is adequate. It is not adequate at all. And personal accident insurance cover should be at least 100 to 200 times of your monthly income. That's adequate personal accident insurance. Important things to remember. While buying health insurance, we must check the claim settlement record of the insurance company. It's very important. Don't again get lured by discounts, some attraction given by somebody. Nothing works. You have to check the claim settlement record of the company. And if you know some good hospital, because you might have admitted your parents, in-laws in that hospital, so talk to the hospital and ask them, how is this company, how is the claim settlement? How many people face problem at the time of claim settlement? And as per those hospital, you take the policy, because those hospitals are day in, day out dealing with such companies. So they will tell you, go with this company, don't go with this company. Okay. And don't go again blind, do your own research also. Room rent eligibility, you should check. Room rent eligibility is very important. If you go for a small sum insured, the room rent eligibility could be 3,000 rupees per day or 5,000 rupees per day, or single AC standard room. If you don't get that room, you go to higher room. For example, your eligibility is 5,000 rupees. You go to a room where the room rent is 10,000 rupees and your claim is 5 lakh rupees. I am telling approximately, if the claim is 5 lakh rupees, around 2 lakh to 2 lakh 50,000 rupees you'll have to bear from your own pocket. Understand this. Why? Because you have chosen a room rent double than your eligibility. So the claim get proportionally deduction, that amount get proportionally deducted. Nobody tells you this. Please understand, room rent eligibility is very important. So a lot of companies have come out with unlimited, there is no room rent capping. You can go to any room. Does that mean you should get to go to any room? For example, you can afford easily without insurance, around 3,000, 5,000 rupees room. But due to insurance, unlimited, you go to a room where it is 15,000 rupees suite. No, not at all. It's very important in insurance. There is a very, very important phrase. You should behave as if you are not insured. You should always behave as if you are not insured, because if the claim gets rejected due to any reason, that 15,000 room, due to that higher class room, your claim may be 8 lakh, 10 lakh rupees unnecessarily. That entire amount you have to bear. And the deduction also will be in proportion if the claim is not rejected, but the deduction could be 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees. So don't go for such room. Always go as if you are not insured and get admitted like that. Okay. Copays and sublimit. Okay, companies have introduced copays and sublimits. Companies have come out with voluntary deductible, which is in car. It was earlier in car only. It is in Mediclaim also now. So you give voluntary deductible of 50,000 rupees. My first 50,000 will be borne by myself. The remaining will be given by the company. Then the claim amount, that premium amount comes down drastically. If you go for that, then be ready. If the claim is 30,000 rupees, you will not get 1 rupee. If the claim is 60,000, again, you will not get 1 rupee because 50,000 deducted. On top of that, non-payable items are deducted. So you will not get anything. If the claim is 1 lakh, you get only 50,000 or 40,000 or maybe 30,000. So understand this, if you can bear that 50,000 rupees cost, then go for the deductions. Then there are copays, sublimit in the policy. Predominantly, these copays, sublimit come in picture a lot of times when the age is above 60 years for senior citizen. There are copays, sublimit which are very high, sometimes 30%, sometimes 50% copays. There are sublimit for surgeries, for example, heart related, will give only 1 lakh rupees. Angioplasty will get only 50,000. It was like that. At the time of claim, you'll get a shock of your life because you thought if the policy is 5 lakh rupees, I'll get 5 lakh rupees. No. Check the sublimit. For kidney, what is the sublimit? For heart problem, what is the sublimit? For cancer, what is the sublimit? For joint replacement, what is the sublimit? And then understand that's why you will not have heartburn at the time of claims. Pre and post hospital expenses. It's very important again. Previously, companies used to give 30 days pre-hospitalization and post-hospitalization 60 days. And there used to be capping of 5,000-7,000 rupees for post-hospitalization. Now also some companies are having this capping, but always go for pre-hospitalization, 30 days to maybe 90 days pre-hospitalization. Post-hospitalization up to 180 days companies are offering. Go for that. And there should not be any capping of that amount. Okay. Then what happens? You come out of the hospital and doctor give you a big list, come again for repeated visits. If it happens, your medication continues, the amount could be maybe 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 rupees. So that amount you should get if you take a right cover, pre-hospitalization, post-hospital expenses. And this inbuilt, there is no rider, this inbuilt cover. Cumulative bonus. Some companies give cumulative bonus of 10%. If there is no claim, you get 10% additional sum insured. For example, sum insured 5 lakh, next year you get 5 lakh 50,000. After that, again 10% increment. Like that, some companies give 50% cumulative bonus. 5 lakh, next year it will become 7.5 lakh. Some companies give 100%. 5 lakh, next year it becomes 10 lakh. After that, it becomes 15 lakh. So understand this cumulative bonus, it's very important. Companies are offering 100% also. Check and go for it because that's very important. Daycare procedures. Daycare procedure, there is a lot of confusion. What is the difference in daycare procedure and OPD cover? OPD cover means just consultation. Daycare procedure means a surgical procedure which is in hospital, which you don't have to get admitted at all. You just go there, within 7-8 hours, you can come back home on the same day. So there, if somebody tells you cataract operation, get admitted, we have to show operation, admission, then you get a claim. He's lying. He's actually increasing his bill, nothing else. So check your daycare procedure, what is mentioned. Maximum companies are given, all daycare procedures are covered. So anything due to modern technology, lot of daycare procedures are covered now, and you get claim, not cashless reimbursement because the time is very short. It could be 4 hours, 5 years. So the daycare procedure are mentioned. Sometimes they are numbered 9, 10, 12, 400. Sometimes it is all daycare procedures are covered. So check that and get treated accordingly. Don't unnecessarily get admitted because the claim may get rejected because admission was not necessary. You just showed admission, which was not at all essential. Recharge of sum insured. Some companies give, if your sum insured is 10 lakh and that sum insured gets exhausted due to you and your family members' claims in that year itself, and the policy is about to get ended after 3 months, then in 3 months you are not covered. In this recharge condition, your 10 lakh sum insured again is given by the company free of cost. Okay, some companies do 20%, 50%, some companies do 100%. Some companies do unlimited times recharge. So please check that and take that cover because that's very important. Zone-wise restrictions. A lot of companies having zone A, zone B, zone C. So if you go to Pune, for example, Pune is, for example, in zone B, and you get admitted in Delhi, for example, it is zone A. Then in zone A city, if you claim, 20% of the claim amount you will have to bear. There's a co-payment. Please understand this and go for a policy. Okay. Waiting period for few diseases and pre-existing disease. As I told you, for certain diseases, slow growing diseases, there is a waiting period of 24 months. Okay. And the diseases waiting period is applicable only for first policy. If you have completed 4 years in that policy, you get shifted to other company, portability. Then all these things are covered. There is no waiting period for these things at all. Okay, please understand. And pre-existing disease, there could be 1 year to 4 years waiting period. Now, what you must disclose, health history of each family member you have to explain. What are health history? Okay, not normal this thing, fever and all, no. But some admission, some adverse condition, maybe there was some intestine problem, there was some liver problem, there was some accident and there is some rod in the leg. You'll have to explain that. Okay. Of each family member, again, not only yourself, each family member. Topmost priority, your parents and in-laws cover is very important. You have to go for it, because if something, see, you are healthy today, you are young. If something happens to your parents or in-laws, you'll have to bear that cost. You'll have to, give your hard-earned money for that hospitalization. Why go for that? Topmost priority, get your parents and in-laws covered immediately. And in-laws first, because you will be living a very happy and healthy life after that. On lighter note, be extra careful. Banca and online policy purchase, you should be extra careful, because banca policies lot of times are a big eyewash. Lot of things are not disclosed. You explain about your health history that is not mentioned in the policy. You take the policy and blindly you keep it in the your cupboard. If the claim comes, you go for claim, and that what you had mentioned earlier, hypertension, diabetes, it is not mentioned in the policy, your claim get rejected. So that policy is good for nothing. So please study, discuss, whatever they tell you, take it on their mail, take official mail, because that person is here today, gone tomorrow. These RMs are there in the bank, they are from the insurance company, they sell the policy, they are not there after some time, they change, or they are given to some other banks, they are allotted some different banks, so they are not there. Bank manager says, I'm not responsible, why you're asking me? That bank person asks you, that insurance company. So you talk to them, why are you asking me? Okay, so please understand, for any problem like this, who is responsible? We say bank, we say insurance company, we say agent. No, I think we are responsible 80% of the time. Why? Because we are not paying attention what Vinny is talking. You are not asking question, you are blindly signing and taking, because we think banca policy is very, very cheap. You think online policy, there is a good discount offered to me. But at the time of claim, there is nobody to support you. Please understand, the support system is very weak in these channels. So please understand, we are doing this claim settlement guidance business. Lot of claims come for bank and online, and they are clueless. They are running from pillar to post. Okay. Check your policy. It's very important. Whatever you are declared, you are a very honest person. You are like Raja Harishchandra. You have explained everything. But that insurance person was selling your policy has not mentioned it in the policy, in your proposal form. That's why you got the policy where diabetes, hypertension, that accident, nothing is mentioned in their policy. And your policy has come completely clean, having nothing mentioned. And at the time of claim, the claim is rejected. Now you claim, I told everything. Do you have a record of it? You don't have a record. That's why please understand, when you get the policy, please open the envelope, spend time, keep your mobile aside, don't watch TV, check the policy condition. If there's something wrong, immediately call the company, send the mail, everything should be on record. Just don't talk verbal. Send the mail, take the endorsement in the policy. If they don't endorse it, cancel the policy. There is a free look period. 15 days you can cancel the policy, take the refund. If there is online, there is a 30 days free look period. Go for that, cancel the policy. Because that company is not losing anything, you are losing big time. Don't just blindly take the policy, keep it in the cupboard. Please check the policy. And please take out time. We have discretionary time with us. Renewal before expiry date must. Due to life insurance, we are in confusion. We think that if there is a claim after the expiry period, there is a grace period there, 30 days grace period, I'll get the claim. No claims are payable in grace period. So if the policy is expiring tonight, at 12 o'clock, 1 second the claim comes, the claim is not payable. Please understand, this business is 1 second business. So you have to renew it before the expiry date. Please understand, your check should not get bounced. Otherwise, your policy continuity benefit is gone. Sum insured. Minimum sum insured 10 lakh, top up should be 90 lakhs. The biggest benefit is continuity benefit. Don't lose out this benefit. A lot of people take one policy, after some time, have some fight with the agent or the insurance company, stop the policy. After 3-4 months, take new policy. Again, continue 1 or 2 years, again close that policy. After 3-4 years, again take one policy. It is meaningless completely. When you grow old, your policy is extremely important. It's better than gold. You have to continue the policy. The benefits are fantastic. Please don't discontinue the policy. If you are unhappy with the company, but the renewal is tomorrow, please renew it today itself. Then search for better option. Then port the policy when that policy is coming to the end, at least 1 month before. But don't do it at the last minute. Last minute portability. If some agent comes to you, guarantees you, please don't do it. Avoid portability. As far as possible, avoid portability. I always say portability is like taking a divorce. It's very serious matter. Don't take it casually. Okay? Because that's a long-term relationship. You will lose big time. You'll lose. So don't go by that ego hustle. That agent has not come to me. He has not reminded me. He has not come to me. That's why I'm discontinuing or I'm porting out. Don't do that. Okay? Please study it completely. Take your own time. With the policy going to get expired after 3 months, okay, no problem. Study it. Explain everything in that new company. Because pre-existing disease mentioned in a policy is the old thing. In the policy duration, if your current policy is, for example, 3 years running, and you have developed diabetes after taking that policy, that disease have to be explained to the new company. You think that is not to be explained because I didn't have diabetes before. No, you have to explain because for the new company, that's a new risk. You have to explain everything. That company may load the premium, may not accept a proposal, that's okay. But don't go blindly for portability. Explain everything and then go for portability. Moratorium period, there is a very important dictum by IRDA that if you continue your health insurance policy for 8 continuous years, retail policy, claims cannot get rejected due to non-disclosure. You will get all the claims which are payable due to pre-existing disease not disclosed, the claim is rejected. That doesn't happen after 8 years. That's very important. If you increase the sum insured, for example, if sum insured 5 lakh, after 4 years, you increase it to 10 lakh rupees. For getting the 10 lakh amount for pre-existing condition or some clause, you'll have to wait for 8 years after increasing the sum insured. Last point, again, a very bold statement. Agent must be professional and there should not be any emotional entanglement with him or her. We take the policy from a relative, from a friend, from a neighbor, from some struggler. There's no point because after 1 month you ask him, he said, no, I've left that business. I don't do that anymore. He doesn't have any knowledge. He just did it for money making. So money making, no problem, but he should be thorough. He should be professional and ask him question. If he cannot reply, he has to just put a, take the phone, ask his senior every time. He's good for nothing. There's no point in taking the policy from him. Be absolutely professional about it because you are going to get benefited due to this policy, or you will be in trouble due to this policy if wrong policy is taken by the wrong person. So there should not be any emotional entanglement. You tell him, I'm not interested to continue the policy, shift. But don't get lured by any discounts, any offers. Nobody is, allowed to offer any discount by IRDA. That's IRDA dictum, IRDA restriction. But still people offer, don't go by that because why is he offering discount? Because he knows he's not adding any value. He knows he's not professional. He knows he will not get the client. The person who is not afraid to lose the business is the person who has got a lot of business, who is professional. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about Mpathy Mediclaim Consultancy in short. What services we provide? We provide a resolution of health insurance claim disputes. There are 3 Ds in claims. 1 D is denial. 2nd is deductions. 3rd is delay. These 3 Ds are happen in claims. So we take care of that. We support people. Expert guidance we provide regarding policy conditions. If you want to take a policy, we want our consultation. We can give you consultation. Motivational training I take for agents. I have motivated, lakhs of agents in Star Health in my 13.5 years journey, in Bajaj 1 year. I have taken sessions of 1,000 agents at a time, 3 hours, completely spellbound session where people get motivated, understand complete concept and make their career in health insurance sector. So that session I have taken. So if you have a team of people like that, I can take that training session, or your employees want a session, I can do that. What is our procedure in claim dispute? We check all the claim document. We confirm whether the claim is payable or not, admissible or not. So first confirm. We have Dr. Sonia Dubey, who is a claims head with us. So who checks the document and confirms whether the claim is payable or not. If the claim is payable, then we take the case. This at consultancy, initial consultancy is absolutely free of cost. We don't charge anything for this. We accept only admissible cases. Okay. No jugaad, no shortcut. Okay. No advisory there at all. Then we charge nominal fee and provide comprehensive consultation, including ombudsman draft, complete guidance we give, and that is very satisfactory. That gives a lot of satisfaction. So the business is completely driven by for people's blessing. To give support to people, money is definitely there, but it is secondary. First is people satisfaction and support. Policy related guidance we give, face-to-face and online consultancy we give for policy, and motivational trainings, as I told you, webinar or classroom sessions I take. Thanks a lot. Any question? This is our contact detail, Mpathy Mediclaim Consultancy LLP. These are the mobile numbers, WhatsApp and calling. We operate from Deccan area. Our office is above Champion Sports at Deccan. And we are on third floor of above Champion Sports. Yes, Coronet is the building name. If you want to come meet us anytime, any consultancy, you can jot down this number and contact it. This is the mail ID and our website. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time and patience. Thanks, Nimisha, and entire Pentagraph team.
This was a very informative session. And meanwhile, we have received a lot of questions from our viewers and listeners. So few names are there. So if you could just, help us answer them. I have not got the name. The chat box reads anonymous attendee. So, sir, if you could just raise your hand, we'll unmute you and you can ask your question yourself. Or would you like me to read it? So will you raise your hand if you want me to unmute you? Okay. So I'll read on his behalf. So first question is, what is advisable, co-pay or higher premiums?
It depends on your budget. Na? If you're ready, if you're not a claimant, for example, a lot of people claim frequently. For them, higher premium is better. If you don't claim at all, then you go for co-pay and then you pay lesser premium. So whenever the claim comes, you have saved so much amount. So that co-pay amount is already taken care of. For example, 10 years you don't claim and you saved at least 10,000 rupees due to that. So 10,000 per year in 10 years comes to 1 lakh and co-pay was 50,000 or 10%. And that amount is at the time of claim is around 50,000, 1 lakh. You have saved that much amount in 10 years. The claim, people who don't claim, they should go for voluntary deductible or co-pays, no problem. But if they claim frequently or once in 2 years, 3 years, they should go for higher premium.
So if I put it on a very simpler terms, it is about your existing health position, right? Where you know that you are healthy, you are on a regular check, and you know status.
Right.
Where you don't find that in a near term you're looking at any kind of uneventful situation. So you go ahead with the co-pay, but where you find that no, there will be a regular requirement. So it's always better to go with that.
Right. And most important is that if your age is, above 50, you think there is something joint replacement, knee replacement can come, that claim is very high. So their co-pay becomes very costly thing. You understand that your health condition, as Nimisha rightly put it.
From the same person, we have another question. In case of demise of a person insured, is there a provision where the premium paid can be refunded proportionately for the balance?
What is that? Demise.
Demise of a person insured. So right. The premium gets refunded for the balance period or?
Pro rata period. Yeah, it is paid.
Okay.
But if you cancel it in between on your own, then the short period notice is applicable where the deductions are more. But in case of demise, it is paid on pro rata basis.
So usually paid to the nominee, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
From the same person, we finish it from him first. In case of my cover, one policy is exhausted. Can I utilize the cover of another policy during the same admission?
Absolutely, yes. You can. That's why I've told you, if you have corporate policy and you have retail policy, your every claim should be first in corporate policy. Because, there you're working and your retail policy should always be claim free. So you exhaust that. After that, if the claim is more than that, then retail policy, you prefer the claim on that policy.
Sir, I have a question here itself. When we have multiple policies, so say suppose when you are talking about claims and deductibles or maybe consumables, so there are certain part which is approved, certain parts which is not approved. So the same thing cannot, the criterias remain the same. So say suppose if I have a claim of around 10 lakhs and out of which 1 lakh is what none of the insurance company ideally would have paid for consumables, so whatever is not covered under the policy. So then 9 lakhs का एक cover है 5 लाख का, तो वो 5 आप उससे cover ले सकते हो and another 4 lakhs you can take from another. That's what we are saying, but not the full 10.
No, you see, what you said, two policies are there or multiple policies are there.
So we have two policies, one policy of 5 lakhs and one policy of 10 lakhs.
Okay.
So suppose 5 lakhs is my corporate policy,
Right.
and 10 lakhs I have taken a retail policy. Okay. 15 lakh की policy है और मेरा 10 लाख का claim है.
Right.
10 लाख पूरा का पूरा settle होगा 5 + 5, या आप बोल रहे हो कि वो 10 लाख में से जो consumables होता है या certain things which is not covered at all. So usually is there a standard thing which the companies don't cover at all, or is it that it depends on company to company?
It depends on company to company. There are standard deductions, but now a lot of companies have come out with rider. You take that rider, maximum deductible or consumables are paid, maximum. Okay, so that companies have come out with. But as you said, 10 lakh and 5 lakh, two policies, deductible and everything, it is a standard thing. Those will be applicable as per those policies. Okay.
So if deductibles amount to 1 lakh of rupees, so out of 10, 9 lakhs can be claimed. First, we
Right.
can put a claim from the corporate and the next
Right.
from the.
Absolutely. Right.
The another question from the same person is, what is the redressal mechanism in case of claims rejection, complaints, disputes? Should we take the matter to ombudsman or directly?
See, you can go to directly company. You have to write to them. You have to write to the grievance cell first. GRO is the next hierarchy. Okay, grievance redressal office. So that particular thing. And if they don't reply or they don't settle the claim, then ombudsman will have to approach. So two rejections have to be there. After that, only you can approach ombudsman. Okay, but ombudsman, the unfortunate part is ombudsman takes. Pune have just checked recently. They take more than 1 year time for the claim, to the case to come. So 1 year is too high a period, longer period. But that's what the thing is. So they take time, But this is the mechanism. This is the redressal mechanism.
So ideally, what is the turnaround time for us to receive a redressal? It's 30 days.
See, if it is in company itself, grievance redressal sale and all, it may take 1 week or 1 month or 2 months maximum. But if it goes to ombudsman, then it could be 1 year. If it is consumer forum, it may take 3 years.
The another question is, what is the difference between claims repudiation and claims rejection?
Claim repudiation and claim rejection. Dr. Sonia is there because I think these are the same terms. Dr. Sonia is there or she is not there?
I have not seen her on the
I
list.
don't think there is any difference, frankly speaking.
Okay. So we have a question from Mr. Yogesh Mehta. Yogesh, would you like to ask a question yourself? Should we unmute you? Okay. Fine. Today is my turn to read it out. So Yogesh has requested your views on global policies, especially for NRI clients.
Global policy.
Yes. So if we have NRI clients, how do they go about the insurance?
No, see, global policies, a lot of companies have started now. They give around 2 crore cover and all. They give cover, which is globally, covered, but the premiums are very high. Premiums are very high. You should understand that again, what sort of cover he requires and is he ready to pay that premium. Okay. So globally, it again depends that, whether he gets cheaper there or here. Because that India, again, how many, months he stays in India, how many months he stays in abroad. So then according to that, he can decide whether that policy will be cheaper or this policy will be cheaper. Okay, there are covers. Companies are covering globally now.
We have a question from Mr. Rahul Mone. Is there any health policy for senior citizens above 70 years?
Yes, there are. There are a lot of policies, but again, you should understand co-pays and sublimits and then go for it. Okay, because senior citizens claims come very often, and if there is a lot of deduction, lot of waiting period, then there's a problem. So you should always go for a policy by completely studying it. And senior citizen, there is a very good option again. You can go for banca policy. The premiums are very less, but please understand, explain everything, check the policy when you get it. Is everything mentioned? If everything is mentioned, fantastic. Okay. If it is not mentioned, it's a problem. Then it's a policy of no use.
We have another question from Mr. Mone. What are the precautions to be taken while quoting a policy?
Very good question. Precaution means when you are shifting from one company to other company, you will have to explain to them everything about your health. Okay. So if you have taken a policy and it is running since last 4 years, and in midst of that policy, you got some, you met with some accident, or some sickness was there, some surgery was there, diabetes is diagnosed, for example, heart problem diagnosed, whatever is diagnosed, you have to explain everything to the new company. Because if you don't explain, a lot of people think I don't have to explain, I simply have to fill up a form because that earlier policy was continuing. It is not the case for the new company. It is a new risk. So if you don't explain, the claim will be rejected. In fact, if the age is above 60 years, you should, as far as possible, avoid portability. If the age is lesser, you're healthy, no problem. But explain everything. Don't hide anything at all. And don't think that ye bahut choti cheez hai. No, you don't decide that. You explain everything. Let the company decide that.
The next question is, are there health policies for physically challenged persons?
As far as I am concerned, I don't know, frankly speaking. I'll check and get back to you, but I don't think so. I'll have to check. Okay, about some genetic disorder, IRD has passed some this thing again that you have to give, you cannot reject them. But physically challenged, let me complete, because let me check. Recently, I had checked around 1 year back. My cousin is having problem. He didn't get it at all. Nobody accepted.
So we have another question from Mr. Sachin Mahajan. Is it possible to change from copay to higher premium during the renewal of the?
Definitely, why not? Every year when the renewal, see, it's a 1 year contract. Health insurance is 1 year contract. So you'll have to understand, every year you can change the sum insured. You can change copay sublimits. Okay. So it's very important. And the policies which can be migrated, for example, you're having one policy and you have to shift to other policy of the same company, which is better than this policy, because they come out with new policies now, very, very fantastic innovations are there. Policies are great policies. I have seen that. I have never seen such policies. So those policies, if you find that some same company is having, you can very well get shifted to that policy if that company allows migration. Okay. So this 1 year cover, one more question comes out of this. Should you go for long-term cover, 3 years cover? I don't agree. I don't go for that, because in between, if you get to know these companies' adverse claim ratio is there, that they're not settling rightly, you're stuck up for 3 years. That's why you should not go for it. Second thing, I've got 2 cases where the customer has paid a premium of 1,50,000 rupees for 3 years. And one claim came, it got rejected due to pre-existing disease. The entire premium got forfeited by the company. 1,50,000 premium gone. 3 years premium. Because the contract is for 3 years. He has not disclosed something. Claim got rejected. And 3 years premium, 1,50,000 is forfeited. Okay. So you should not go for long term. There is some small discount. Forget that discount. Go for 1 year. You have got a complete freedom. You can change the policy, migrate the policy, increase sum insured, decrease the sum insured if you think your budget is not allowing. 10 lakh, you can come to 5 lakh. What is the problem? So be free. That's why I don't believe in this timeshare concept also. 20 years membership, 25 years. Who has seen? Why not be open about it?
The another question is, in a family policy, does it make sense to take a separate policy for my father who is 86 years old? Or should we take a joint family policy, including my daughters who are very young? Does it make a difference?
No, always see policies. A lot of companies are offering today some, 10 relationship, 20 relationships. It's completely, please don't get me wrong, nonsense. No point. I have taken a policy including my parents, my in-laws. Okay, if I take a policy, the premium will be very hefty. Will I able to renew next year if I have some financial crunch? Is it possible? Okay, so always go for a separate policy for parents, separate policies for children and yourself, and you can go for separate cover. For example, you can take a floater policy of 10 lakh for your family, you yourself, your wife, and children. One policy floater, maybe 10 lakh, 20 lakh, or you can go for individual policy for everybody. That is 5 lakh sum assured for yourself, 5 lakh for daughter, 5 lakh for wife, 5 lakh for son. That is also possible. But I always say floater is always better because you don't know whose claim will come for what amount. So you go for 10 lakh floater, then entire family or one person is eligible to get 10 lakh rupees. And due to that unlimited restoration, recharge, again that get replenished in the same year. So you again get 10 lakh for other person. So why go for a individual sum insured? Go for a common sum insured. But if you have bigger budget, then you can go for 10 lakh rupees for each person. That is also possible.
So on the same point, I have a question here. So ideally, it was my understanding that there are minors, right, as our children. Then that gets covered with the parents itself. They don't get a separate policy.
No,
right?
they don't get.
They
Without
don't get.
one of the parent, they cannot take a policy. One of the parents should be covered.
Okay. So, but once they are major, it can be separated. It's
Absolutely.
always advisable.
Absolutely. In fact, after 25, you should always go for a separate policy for them.
Another question we have, are there any policies which do not have limits on room rents like 1%, etc.?
There are policies.
This was
Unlimited
all
room. There are a lot of policies, but as I told you, there is no limit from them, but there should be limit from yourself. That on my own, I will always behave as if I'm not insured. I will always go as per my budget. If I don't have insurance, which room I'll take, I should go for that room. If that room is not available, then go for higher room.
the objective, which I understand from, you've been repeating this, is that, in case if the claim doesn't go through, you should always have a backup of your own, is what.
Absolutely. And see, unnecessarily when the claim could have been around 3 lakh. Due to higher room rent, it will go to 6 lakhs. So sum insured is getting exhausted to that amount. If second claim comes and that sum insured is not sufficient for the second claim, what will happen? That's why you should always save it. Why not? And it's not luxury, right? It's not a resort we are going into. We are going to a hospital where the treatment should be the focus.
Very true. Another question we have, if you have selected initially chosen standard deduction, which I'm understanding is a deductible here, then is it possible to change from standard deduction to no deduction? So if we have a policy with deductibles, say suppose, can we change it from deductible to no deductibles?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
But I think there will be quite an impact on the premium, because if we take a deductible of 50,000 or a lakh of rupees, the premium amount is around, maybe at the age of around 20 to 30 years kind of a thing, would be around 20,000, but I think it will almost double once we.
Right.
Mr. Sachin Patil has another question. How insurance company investigate the pre-existing conditions which were not disclosed while taking?
So there are mechanisms. They can cross-check. They can ask the relatives, friends. Okay, and a lot of times the condition itself can be very clear that this cannot be new thing. This cannot be, just acute. Something has happened. Maybe overnight. It doesn't happen. One of my recent claim is going on. He has brain stroke after taking policy 3 months only. So they are suspecting is hypertension. So they are digging everywhere, but there's no consultancy at all. There's no previous consultancy. So it may happen, but they dig it out. They ask people, and is it foolproof? No, a lot of time they don't get anything.
So on the same point, sir, I have a question. I mean, most of the times that I have seen, it's not that most of us go for their annual checks and are updated on their health status. So we may have a disease, but we are not aware of it. And we have taken a policy in the end.
Right.
So, and suddenly, like you said, in 3 months or maybe 2 months, you are hospitalized. So the intent was not that, you have to, you're cheating the company. The intent was like, you didn't know about it. So if the case is like this, does the case claims usually get settled, or how is it?
Yes. Usually the claim gets settled because there's no evidence at all. There was no investigation at all. The most important thing we should understand, when we get admitted, for example, I get admitted tomorrow, I am not in a position to talk to anybody. They ask question to relatives, wife, children, friends, and they definitely tell, yes, he is suffering from this. He was taking medicine. He had cured. He was recovered. So when it, it is told by somebody, confirmed by somebody, then that comes on in the history, that he had the history. So that's very important. Okay, so if there is no trace, there is nothing, no investigation, then the claims will be payable because there was nothing.
I think someone was there.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, sir. This is Asid. I
morning.
just would like to ask two questions rather. One is about congenital disease condition in whether there is any policy which covers. I know there are some policies, but there are so many ifs and buts in that. And there are conditions where it is not covered. Although IRDA has given a verdict that internal congenital disease is need to be covered by the companies. Second question, in these lines, what Nimisha madam has asked about that, if at the time of taking the policy there was nothing, but after maybe 3-4 years down the line, if a person gets any kind of a disease like blood pressure or something like a diabetes, he's not basically get admitted or as such. But what kind of when he got to know or she got to know that I have this particular disease, what exactly need to be done from the client side? Do they need to inform the health insurance company or something like that? So just wanted to ask these two questions.
Okay, so first question about your congenital external disease and defects.
Yeah.
Okay, I have few cases where it is rejected outright. It is covered by corporates. Now, if you are having corporate policy, please ask your HR next time when they take a policy, renew the policy, add this condition, congenital and external disease and defects. Okay.
Okay.
So it's not covered as on date. I'll still update it. If I get some update, I'll definitely update you.
Yeah.
And second question is about if something happens in the midst of the policy period. For example, 2 years, 3 years down the line, something is developed. Okay. It could be anything. Diabetes, hypertension, or cancer, or heart problem. You don't have to disclose it to company at all because the contract has started long back. Okay. Or maybe 1 year back, or maybe yesterday. There's a new condition. Okay, new thing. You don't have to explain at all because that is not before the contract started. Right? So you don't have to explain at all. Okay. But if you increase the sum insured, you'll have to explain because for that condition, then there'll be restriction for next 3 to 4 years.
So basically, whenever I do any change in the policy contract, then I have to declare it.
Absolutely. You go to migration, for example, in the same company, you are shifting to this policy to that policy, you have to explain. You go for portability, you have to explain. You increase the sum insured, you have to explain. Because the risk is changing, right? So for them, they should understand that why you are taking. And that's why companies always go for what, anybody goes for higher sum insured. There's again a question mark. If somebody is having 3 lakh policy, all of a sudden he goes for 20 lakhs. There is some problem.
I agree.
Nobody all of a sudden understands that I should take a higher sum insured and adequate sum insured. It doesn't happen. Because 100 times you take sessions like that, whoever wants to get wake up only get wake up. Okay. So it happens only when there is some trigger, there is some hospitalization impending, he goes for higher sum insured.
Got it, sir. Got it.
That company also understands.
Sure, sir.
At the time of claim, this comes into picture. When at the time of claim, you said you didn't know about it. But he has gone for 25 lakh all of a sudden. Do you think claim will be paid just like that? No, because all of a sudden 5 lakh to 25 lakh he jumped. And a lot of companies don't offer also. A lot of companies offer only one step ahead, 5 lakh to 10 lakh.
Yeah.
Next year you can 10 to 15 lakh, like that. Okay. So these precautions company take, and then people keep that why it was rejected. It was rejected because your behavior is not justifying that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that.
I'll
tell you one experience. I was in Star Hill. That time one claim was settled. Claim was of a farmer's son. He has taken a policy where the sum insurance was 50,000 rupees. Okay. 50,000 for each person. And that claim came due to some sickness and all. So we said that we found out that he had a cancer. Okay. And company rejected the claim. So we said this claim should be payable. I put the foot down. I said, if this person wanted to make money, he could have gone for 5 lakh sum insured.
Yeah.
He would not have gone for a farmer struggling financially, this thing. He could have gone for 5 lakh because he wants to make money out of it. He wants to benefit out of it. That's why, and the claim was settled. That's why I'm saying empathy comes in picture here. If you just go by reading lines like AI, artificial intelligence, you can reject claim just left, right, center. But no, if you understand people, you understand between the lines, then you can take right decisions. I think that's very important. So empathy is very important.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Over to you.
So we have 3 more questions. The another one is, if I don't claim in any year, then am I eligible for bonus? Do I get it by default or do I need to claim?
You don't have to claim at all. The sum insured gets increased every year in claim-free years. Okay. So it depends on claim-free. If it's claim-free, the sum insured gets enhanced. And that sum insured is your benefit. That whenever you go for a higher, bigger claim, that sum insured comes in picture. You get an entire sum insured, like basic plus cumulative bonus. And some companies have some rider where for smaller claim, the sum insured, that cumulative bonus does not get impacted. You still get the cumulative bonus, but you have to take one rider.
So next question we have from Mr. Sachin Mahajan. My parents are covered under corporate scheme, while my father, who is 86 and diabetic and has high BP, medical history is not asked and declared in corporate scheme. So will it impact any future medical?
Not at all. In corporate, you don't have to disclose anything at all. If it's a big corporate like, Persistent, Vodafone, or Infosys, Tata, there's a huge number of people, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. They don't take everybody's declaration, simple, because it's a cumulative. They take a call that is this risk we are carrying at such a premium. So the underwriting is done like that for group. Okay. So you don't have to disclose there at all. It's not needed. Okay. But retail policy, you have to disclose.
So in fact, with the experience that I have for the corporate schemes, whenever it's a group medical insurance, the pre-existing diseases are covered for all that.
Yeah, but it is again not necessary that every time. It depends on the budget. If they are a lesser budget, they will not cover pre-existing. If they are even lesser budget, they will not cover 2-year exclusions. It's like that.
Okay.
So it a little bit depends on the budget of the company. Then company can go for anything. Critical illness, they give 10 lakh rupees. They give corporate buffer of 25 lakh rupees. It depends on the company's budget.
I think while renewing also they check as how much claims have been in the previous year basis which the insurance company.
Absolutely. It is always that, claim, what is the claim ratio last year? On top of that, the premium is always increased. That's a lot of people find it unviable to continue the policy. That's why I said you have to have your own retail policy every time.
Sir, I have one question of my own. At times, it's an experience which we get to hear from our clients that while they had submitted all the documents and, the doctor comes and signs off their discharge deed, but because the claim settlement takes so much of time, usually the discharge is delayed. So if you could just elaborate a little bit as how the system works while people are being discharged and how the entire interaction goes, and if there is anything that we should bear in mind when we are admitted and we should take
See,
care
discharge first and foremost, 1 day prior at least that tomorrow is the discharge. And maximum times I have seen people doing everything else but not following up with the Mediclaim department. It's very important to follow from the beginning, start itself, in the morning itself, go 8 o'clock, that today is the discharge. Do the follow. Maximum times we have found these people don't send mails to companies on time. Queries are not answered. That's why it is stuck up. So the discharge gets delayed. And it is Saturday, it gets delayed, it directly goes to Monday. And their meter continues mercilessly. But you are paying from your own pocket. So don't be casual about it. Start the procedure 1 day prior. Go to this thing, whatever medicine you have to return the medicine, submit the document, talk to them, queries. At the same time, check with the insurance companies also if anything is pending. Check with the TPA. This additional thing I'm telling. If you do that, everything will be settled, but still it takes at least 4 or 5 hours at least for the discharge. Okay, but you have to take this precaution. If you follow it up continuously, I'll tell you, you will be very happy that you got discharged very fast and you can go home earlier. And a lot of times it happens that a cashless does not get approved. It is approved, but in the process it gets stuck up. So at times I have given check. I have given my full check or credit card payment, and I have taken the money from the hospital later. That also happens. So if you are in urgency and the cashless is not coming, there's no point in just waiting for 2 more days and getting discharged later, because the bill will again increase. You pay the money and take the money from the company later, from the hospitals. But again, hospitals take a lot of time to return that amount. That's again my experience. They take sometime 1 month time. They say, till I get the money from the company, I will not pay you, which is completely unfair. Okay, but it happens.
I think we have another question. If sum insured increases due to cumulative bonus, then will it result in increase in? If it's a cumulative bonus, I don't think so.
No, not
So
at
your
all. No, premium does not increase at all. No? Cumulative bonus is your right. That's a reward because you're not claimed.
Do we have any other questions, or we have almost reached our timeline? So 11:30, so we can call off the session. Okay. Asif, will you please unmute Mr. Vijay
Vijay.
Mahajan? He wants to ask a question.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Vijay.
Yes.
Yeah, I got my own one of the curious question on this because few years back my daughter has a fracture and we are settling the claim. And while submitting the document, I just saw that on the fracture document, the report, by mistake the doctor has printed is as a no fracture. They just took the print, so that was a typo error. I
Okay.
could pick up that before submitting document and I could get it corrected.
Very good.
But
Okay.
let's say sometimes such wrong report gets submitted, so the claim will certainly get rejected. But is there something that can be corrected later if that claim gets rejected, because it is a doctor's mistake? So
Absolutely. See, it happens all the time. I have told you that paralysis claim recently that it is mentioned that he is suffering from hypertension history wrongly. Then doctor has given a clarification on his letterhead and then submitted, and then the claim, they may settle it now because it is very close proximity case. But that correction definitely happens. But frankly speaking, a lot of companies don't believe in that particular correction because hospitals don't do it casually. Okay? There could be some problem, and then it was corrected, telling the doctor that don't say, don't reveal this thing. So that's why companies again investigate such matters. So it's very important for you to understand whatever doctor says, you cross-check and then let him submit. Because if you don't cross-check, again he sends something wrongly, you are stuck up.
Yeah, that's thanks.
You have to be very vigilant. That's what I'm saying. Health insurance is a very, very, very delicate subject. And people blindly take the policy, blindly go for claim, and blindly claim it rejected or cashless denied. And they simply keep quiet and start blaming companies, agent. No, you have to study. You have to understand. You have to read it out. Talk to the management. Send mails to companies. Don't be verbal again. Send mails to company. Keep a record of it so that if you go to IRDA, you can send all this record.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
So we'll take one more last question. This is very important. And how to evaluate and select a TP?
How to evaluate and
select a TP?
Evaluate and select the
I would
TPA.
suggest give us a little briefing on the role of a TPA and what are the points that we need to check while.
No, TPA, selecting the TPA means what? You are talking about corporate policy.
I think that means individual only, corporate.
No, individual, how can you select TPA? I have not heard about this thing, that TPA you can select.
Okay.
Only corporate can select TPA. Individual cannot select TPA. And TPA's role is very simple. TPAs are, by a lot of corporates have TPA and some companies have TPA and maximum companies do in-house claim settlement. So TPA means third-party administrator like MediAssist, MD India, a lot of companies are there. So those companies check the document, they investigate the matter, and then they settle the claim. They direct the company to settle the claim. They are the third-party administrator, which is like a third umpire, basically. Okay. So their work is like a neutral party. They are not to insurance company side or to customer side. But again, TPA, as Star Health started with no TPA, in-house claim settlement, which is a very strong thing and big thing. So everybody started following the suit now. Why? Because when in-house is there, we settle, we know the customer. Since so long he's there with us. There is empathy. You can meet somebody, talk to them. That happens in insurance company when it is no TPA. When TPA, they check, but they don't meet customer, right? You cannot meet TPA and talk to them and reason with them. So it's very important that when there is no TPA, I think the You can have directly face-to-face discussion, maybe confrontation, but face-to-face. So TPA is a third party. They check your claims, document, and settle or reject the claims. Okay, so that's the thing. But TPA you cannot select, as far as my knowledge goes. If you're a corporate, you can select a TPA. Okay.
Great. So we have come to the end of the session now. Our time is up. In case if anyone has questions, you can reach out to your advisors. And the details have already been shared by Mr. Sachin Mahajan. So you can also reach out to him for his consultancy and any kind of a help that you need. It was a very wonderful session, sir. Quite informative, and there are a lot of checkpoints that you put across on the do's and don'ts. And a lot of jargons that you clarified today, being co-pay or deductibles or sublimits, So I'm sure each one of us would have benefited from your experience and knowledge. So thank you so much. And I hope that all our investors and, clients would go ahead and take a more informed decision while opting for health insurance.
Thank you very much, Nimisha. Thanks
Thank you,
to all participants and Pentagraph team. My only request is that my mobile numbers are mentioned here. You can message me and rate my overall interaction. And wherever corrections are required, definitely I'll correct it. Kindly give me honest feedback, a brutal, honest feedback. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Have a great day and take care of yourself.
Great day, everyone. And wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you. Good day.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.